welcome to the more 5-minute St. Louis real estate market update for May 2020. I'm Dennis Norman, one of the broker owners at More Realtors, and if you'll give me about 5 minutes of your time, I'll bring you up to date on what's happening in the St. Louis real estate market. Before we get started, though, I want to remind you we are not just the source for St. Louis home prices, sales, and market data. We're one of St. Louis's premier real estate companies with some of St. Louis's best and most professional agents ready to help you at any time. You can give us a call or hit us on our website. Also, before I get started, I want to give you an opportunity to get St. Louis's best real estate search app. That's right, even better than Zillow. Check it out. Go to stlhomesearchapp.com, stlhomesearchapp.com. You'll find our app has all the features like Zillow and many of the other national sites. However, it has some other things that are very unique. Such as when you search homes, or the homes that we show you there that match your search will only show you active listings. Zillow, Realtor.com, the others, they'll show you listings that already have contracts on them, but just waste your time. Also, the other thing that makes ours unique is we have real live agents right here in St. Louis that know the listings, know the area, and they're ready to help you and serve you. So check that out, stlhomesearchapp.com. Also, before we get into the normal market update, I'd like to give a little update here on what we're calling the COVID-19 effect on the market. If you follow me on stlouisrealestatenews.com, stlouisrealestatenews.com, you'll have seen a lot of articles where I've talked about this, the impact of COVID-19, the pandemic on the St. Louis real estate market. Here's a chart that shows showing activity, and the orange line is represents the showing activity for this year. The darker line on top represents last year. This starts over to the left in January, and you can see that in early March there, where the effects of the pandemic hit, showings really dropped down significantly below where they were last year, and also significantly below where they were at the beginning of the year. But as you go over to the right, to the most recent time period, you can see that as of a day ago, showings were only down about less than 2% from the same time a year ago, and they're just about back up there. So that's kind of regained momentum the showings have. Here's something else that is a real good indicator that you won't see, I don't think, anywhere else but here. And this is a table that shows all of the new sales that have taken place. So these are new contracts written in the past week. And you can see at the top, we've got the 5-county area, the whole MSA. Then I break it down by the 5 most active counties on the Missouri side of the St. Louis MSA. And overall, for the metro area as a whole, the new contracts for this past week compared to new contracts that were written the same week a year ago is only down about 6% from a year ago. That went as high as being down about 37, 38% back in March. So it's really recovered well. The 5-county area is down about 10%. If you jump down to the bottom there, you'll see that not only are there places like St. Charles County that's only down 2%, Jefferson County and Franklin County last week actually had more sales than a year ago. So things are good there. Now getting into our normal market update for the St. Louis MSA as a whole. This chart shows home prices and sales for the past 25 months. So it gives us an opportunity to look back and kind of compare. And you can see if you go all the way over to the right, the home sales for the most recent completed month, which would be April, you can see what the activity was. Median sales price was $213. Number of sales 2264, and if we go back a year ago, April, you can see the number of sales was down about 260 sales less, which would be expected because now this is closings. So closings that happened in April, this is reflecting a lot of March's sales, maybe some late February sales. So those closings in April were impacted, no doubt, by COVID-19. So you can see, sales are down a little bit from a year ago. Prices are up. Go back 2 years ago to April 18, and you can see what they were there. The sales were higher back then. Now this next chart here, this is something I don't think you'll see anywhere else. And I should mention that the charts and the tables and stuff I'm showing you here, this is all from proprietary software we've developed. We know how important it is for our agents and our clients to have the most accurate and up-to-date and relevant market information. So we have spent years and a lot of money and effort developing what I think is some of the best software available for market data. Our agents are very trained on this. All the data comes from the MLS. It's the most accurate data there is. So anyway, but it gives us the ability to do things like this, our year-to-date chart. So this shows year-to-date activity for the past 5 years. And I drew a line there. You can see all the way over to the right shows where we're at year-to-date. It goes back through the last 4 years, so it's pretty steady. You can see if you look at the top, our year-to-date sales this year, this is based on closings, they're up 0.2% from last year, so pretty much the same as last year. Down about 3% from 4 years ago, so a little bit of difference there, but holding in there pretty good. Again, given everything that we've been going through. And that has transpired. This next chart here is also something that you won't see anywhere else. This is a chart that compares the price per foot as well as the days on market over the past 5 years for the St. Louis 5-county core market combined. The purple line there is the sold price per foot. Price per foot is a good way to compare home prices, kind of an apples to apples. The dark line is days on market. I drew a vertical line there a year ago so you could kind of see where we are to the right compared to a year ago. Now I'll put a couple lines up there to show prices over the past few years, how what the trend has been on those, as well as the days on market. If I can get that up here, there we go. So you can see the days on market. Well, the prices, the purple line, the trend has been steadily upward. Days on market has been pretty steadily downward. It's upward just a little bit now, and again, probably a little bit of the COVID-19 effect, if you will. And this chart here, something else that's unique, this is a trend chart. So this is something we created so that you could kind of see where the market's headed. And so if you look all the way over to the right, you can see the most recent months plotted, which is April. And what each dot on this represents, which is for each month, is the home sales for the prior 12 months. So you can see April took a dip downward from March. But the overall trend, has still been up. Going back to 2015, there's been a big upward trend. Then we kind of leveled off. It did dip down a little bit in 19 last year, and then started peaking back up toward the end of 19. But we're still on a good trend. Again, slightly downward right now, which we would anticipate or expect at this point. This is our STL market report. This is a good overview. This is for the 5-county core market as a whole. This on the top left, it looks at home sales, and this is the most recent 12-month period versus the prior 12-month period. So you can see home sales are up about 0.5% for the most recent 12-month period. Next to that in the red are prices. You can see the median home price is up about 7%. Now I'll jump down to the bottom, and you can see there is just a 1.65 month supply of homes for sale. Very low supply of homes for sale, and that's what's fueling the seller's market we're in. Speaking of low supply, here's a table we have that shows the month supply by county. As you look down the right side there, you can see most of the counties, an awful lot of them start with a 1. Some have 2 months supply. There are a couple that are a little higher. Anything below a 6-month supply is considered a seller's market and tends to favor sellers. Above a 6-month supply tends to favor buyers. Bond County in Illinois is the only one that is currently above that 6-month mark, while Macoupin, Illinois is close. Interest rates, here's some good news too. Interest rates, this is a chart, shows the 30-year fixed rate chart, or fixed rate interest rates going back several years, about 10 years. And you can see while they bounced around, if I get my head out of the way, you look all the way over to the right, boy, they are down. Most recent reports were 3.26%. So just to kind of give you an idea here, and to put this in perspective, a year ago they were 4.14%. So not quite a a full percentage point less. But to give you an idea what an impact that has on, say, a typical $250,000 loan, we're talking about $1,089 a month payment for principal and interest versus $1,214. That's $125 a month difference. And over the life of the loan, that's $44,000 less interest you'll pay. So it is very significant. Just another reason to buy now. Hey, and speaking of buying, if you're looking for homes for sale, go to St. Louis's best home search site, stlouisrealestatesearch.com. That's stlouisrealestatesearch.com. You'll find an 800 number at the top. Easy to contact us. At the end of that phone won't be a call center. It'll be agents right here in St. Louis. You can also check out home prices. Price of your home, stlouishouseprices.com, stlouishouseprices.com. Also, find all the open houses at stlouisopenhouses.com. Now, right now, we're kind of transitioning this site because we changed it around to a virtual site. So right now, you can find all the listings that are in the MLS that have virtual tours, and you'll also be able to find open houses as well as we transition back into doing open houses again. And there you go. Thank you again for doing this. Again, we're more realtors. Our phone number is there. You can visit us at stlouisrealestatesearch.com. Thank you for being here, and until next month,